Hello everyone, welcome to Happy Science Meditation Seminar. I'm Bobby Mai, Minister of Happy Science. Thank you for joining us today. Firstly, let us recite Prayer to the Lord. Prayer to the Lord. Our Lord, El Cantare, you are the source of all light, all power, all wisdom, and all love. May you give us light, give us power, give us wisdom, and give us love. O Lord, our Father, please protect this plant of love earth. Protect us from all evil, and open a future for us. O Lord, thank you for giving us light. We give thanks from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for joining us today. Today's study is like this: the true Eightfold Path. We have been studying this true Eightfold Path. Especially today's topic is right thought. Eightfold Path is a reflection method to discover the true self, which is the right state of mind that can be found by examining our thoughts and deeds objectively. Shakyamuni Buddha established 8 checking points through which we can examine our own thoughts, deeds, right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right living, right effort, right will, and right meditation. Righteousness in the Eightfold Path does not imply a simple set of model behaviors against which people can judge themselves to the right or wrong. It means a right state that can only be attained through deep contemplation. Today's subject is, as I mentioned, right thought, checking your poison of the mind. Right thought means to examine carefully the thoughts in your mind. Self-reflection on right thought is to inspect the thoughts you had. It is to ask, what did you think in the mind today? Let's examine whether the thoughts in your mind are good or not from the eyes of the Lord. Importance of the thought is as follows. Thoughts attuned to somewhere in heaven and hell, affecting the happiness and misfortune of your life. Thoughts will eventually become a reality, so we have to be careful what we think. The traditional checkpoints are the poison of the mind. Let me explain typical 3 points poison of the mind, 5 poison of the mind. The 3 poison of the mind are greed, anger, and foolishness. Greed is desire with no satisfaction. It is an endless desire for food, money, the opposite sex, and many other things. This craving that humans have is called greed. Next is anger, which is to fly into rage. This anger is a reaction that comes from deep within the soul. Suppose you might know people that are like this, who are short-tempered and who immediately fly into a rage when they hear something that may put them at a disadvantage. Such people may usually be calm, but they suddenly turn violent. This is what we call anger. Deep within the anger, there is often a feeling of jealousy toward others. There are many people who become angry as a result of jealousy. The third is foolishness, means complaining or grumbling. These are considered the three poisons of the mind. They are the three major poisons. When you look at the people who fall to hell, they usually have at least one of the three poisons. First, it is rare for people who do not have desperate desire or greed fall to hell. People who fall to hell are usually craving for something, such as status, money, the opposite sex, or other things. Actually, it is natural to have these desires instinctively, but in these cases, people have gone over the limit. If the limit of desire goes beyond the amount they naturally should have, it becomes greed. For example, everyone wants money, and making money by proper working is fine. But some people try to obtain money without doing proper work. These people try to gain money by cheating others or stealing. It is apparent that these desires will lead people to hell. Another example is desire for the opposite sex. If the relationship between a man and a woman is something holy and blessed, in other words, if they get married, have children, and the relationship is within the home, there is nothing to be ashamed of. However, there are people who become crazy about the desires that arise from their sixth sense organs, such as hands, feet, eyes. These people may go crazy about the opposite sex and become involved with countless numbers of people. These people are living in hell on this earth. They cannot control their mind or their physical bodies. It is unbearable suffering. True freedom means you can totally control yourself, just like you can control your car by turning the steering wheel. If you cannot turn the steering wheel, you no longer have freedom and the car will only go wild. Actually, there are many people who are like this. In any case, if you think you are going over the limits as a normal person, you should think you have what is categorized as greed. There is also the desire for success in career. It is not a problem to be promoted or to wish for a promotion if you deserve it. But some people wish to rise to higher positions at the expense of others. They try to be promoted by saying bad rumors about others and causing them to fail. These people also have greed in their mind. This greed is the most common characteristic of people who fall to hell. Therefore, you should check yourself well And if you cannot see yourself objectively, you should ask others. Ask them if you have greed, and if they answer yes, you should think you are in trouble. Anger is a characteristic of people who go to hell. People who have this characteristic will go to a world called the Ashura realm, which is the hell of struggle and distraction. However, there's an exception to this. As Master Okawa has written before, there is also something called righteousness. The difference between right and wrong, anger is whether it benefits your ego or not. In some cases, people become angry even if they do not benefit from it. They become angry for the sake of others. But in other case, people become angry because they wish to earn something. This is the difference. Foolishness is suffering that comes from not being able to gain, accomplish, or attain something. You begin to grumble or complain because you cannot become as what you wish. This grumbling does not benefit anyone because it is like spreading garbage around. It does not benefit you, nor does it benefit other people. So please be aware that people who fall to hell have one of the following characteristics: greed, anger, and foolishness. There are two other poisons, which are pride and doubt. Pride here means conceit. These make up the 5 poisons. As I have said before, you must be cautious of yourselves, since you can easily become conceited when things are going well. Buddha's disciples fall from grace most easily as a result of pride. If you are practicing spiritual discipline at Happy Science, greed, anger, and foolishness can be controlled and purified quite well. However, what comes next is pride, or the mind that is conceited. This is quite hard to overcome. So, disciples must watch out for this pride, because even after they have managed to control the 3 poisons of the mind, you may still fall to hell as a result of pride. If you end up in hell and think, I had no greed or none anger, and I did not grumble, why I am in hell? The problem is, in most cases, pride, conceited. It is because you become over-conceited. The last is doubt. This doubt does not mean you cannot question things. Doubt is the mind of devils. Suspicion and fear are also the minds of devils. These states of mind are not equivalent to exploring or questioning things. Now let us watch Master Oka's lecture titled Lecture on the Right Thought. Let us begin.
こ It is not too far-fetched to say that we all undergo a spiritual training in this world, so that we come to understand what the right thinking is all about. If I can use an image to describe the mind, I would say it is like a dynamo generating electricity, constantly producing and discharging power. Imagine that the mind is similar to a turbine in a hydroelectric power plant, which spins as water falls onto it from high above. In the same way, your minds are constantly generating thoughts that influence the world. Each of us is a generator of power, and we are constantly discharging electricity. The information we receive from outside corresponds to the water that falls and makes the turbine spin. Thus, our minds are constantly generating some thoughts. If you can picture your mind as a generator, you will understand that what comes out of your mind shapes the world. Not only this world on earth, but the spirit world as well. If you have no idea what the other world is like, imagine a world where nothing exists but thoughts. In the real world, the inhabitants have no physical bodies, they exist only as thoughts. In the other world, the real world is formed in thoughts, so pure thoughts create heaven and evil thoughts create hell. It is as simple as that. You probably understand that heaven and hell do not exist only in the other world. They exist here in this world right now. Try and see what kind of picture your own thoughts translate into. Would the images be scenes from heaven or hell? If the pictures are too awful to look at, you are creating a hell in your mind. If the pictures give you a pleasant feeling, you are creating heaven within. It is, in fact, your mind that constantly generates power, emits images, and adds something new to the world. Thoughts are just like electric power that is discharged by a generator, the mind. If you understand that you are a dynamo, you have to be careful to use this power effectively. The electricity can either paralyze others or benefit society being used to run various electrical appliances. Electricity has a dangerous aspect, but at the same time, it can be beneficial. To get useful effects, we must conduct the electricity through appropriate channels. Electric power should be sent to each home through power lines, and the voltage must drop so that it can be used safely. Similarly, you are free to generate your own thoughts. You can either speak ill of others or apologize on your knees. But unless you use that power appropriately, it will never be beneficial. It is not enough just to enjoy the freedom of discharging thoughts. You need to be aware that what you think actually changes the world. So it is a great responsibility on your part to take control of what you think. It is your duty to take command of your thoughts. The fact that hell is increasing in size shows many people are actually discharging wrong thoughts that are being used for wrong purposes. We must use the power of thought for good. What is a good purpose? Simply put, we must use our thoughts to help others attain happiness. It is possible to summarize the criteria for right thought in one simple checkpoint. See if your thoughts contribute to an increase in happiness. Or do they work against that? Although there are other important aspects of self-reflection in the Eightfold Path, today I wish to emphasize the vital importance of reflection on right thought. Your thoughts are the energy that shapes the world. Through the use of this energy, you can either hurt or benefit others. In conclusion, if I were to explain the key to checking your thoughts, I would say ponder deeply whether or not the energy discharged from your own mind is working to benefit others, society, and yourself as part of Buddha. Set aside time to be quiet and reflect carefully on whether each thought that arose in your mind benefits this world created by Buddha. This concludes today's discourse. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Master. How was the Master Oka's lecture? He showed us the outcome of wrong thought or negative thought. Therefore, right thought is so important for our life. Now let us practice self-reflection on the 5 poisons of the mind in you. The seeds of evil sown in the mind are the 3 poisons of the mind, namely greed, anger, and foolishness, with an additional 2, with pride and doubt. All these 5 constitute the 5 poisons. I told you to put them out and instead sow good seeds. This is the starting point of your training as human beings. First, look into your mind and check if you have poison of greed, such as a deep attachment to the position, fame, opposite sex, money, or respected and appreciated by others. Second, look into your mind and check if you have a poison of anger. Next, look into your mind and check if you have poison of foolishness. For example, by checking if you have grumbling without making any effort. Next, look into your mind and check if you have poison of pride. For example, by checking if you have any self-conceit. Lastly, look into your mind and check if you have Look into your mind and check if you have poison of doubt. For example, checking if you have any doubt on Buddha. Firstly, let us recite prayer to guardian and guiding spirit. Prayer to guardian and guiding spirits. My guardian and guiding spirit, deep inside of me, you are the fountain of life, the light of hope, the source of wisdom, and the shield of courage. Every day may you help me develop my soul and refine my mind. Every day may you give me inspiration and show me the right path to follow. Please protect me from all evil and guide me in living a better life. For this, I give my thanks. Let us practice right thought now. Sit straight and close your eyes lightly. Start breathing deeply. Please try to calm your mind. Now let us begin the self-reflection on 5 poison of the mind. Checkpoints are shown in the screen. How about the reflection? Could you find yourself who are grateful and no attachment? Now let us practice meditation. Meditation of compassion, which shows how to manage your anger. Let us start just following the guidance.
Next comes the meditation on compassion. This is a spiritual training for someone who is short-tempered. If you get angry easily, you first need to control that feeling. Unless you cease your anger and regain a peaceful mind, you can never have rational thinking. When you feel, I dislike that person, or he is a bad guy, you need to try to calm your mind by saying to yourself, all people are born equal as children of Buddha. You control your anger believing that he is also a person with Buddha nature. This meditation will neutralize your anger and calm your mind. I believe that everyone has met someone they don't like. So please imagine a particular person you dislike now, or others whom you used to hate or get upset with very much. Then try to convince yourself that he or she is also a child of Buddha and people are all equal being given Buddha nature. Reflect on your mind that is not compassionate enough to embrace and cherish that person. Such a merciful heart can dissolve all the negative emotions you have been holding. For example, if your child does not listen to what you say, it is your duty as a parent to teach your child to behave. But you must first try to imagine how you were at the age of 3. Probably you also did a lot of nasty things, like messing around all the stuff in the living room, or throw things, or yelling at your mommy. Maybe you had a fight with other kids in your neighborhood and got your clothes dirty. Forgetting all this, you got mad at your child for not obeying you. This is the meditation to view others equally and have warm and compassionate feelings for everybody. When you feel anger, ask yourself what you would do if you were in the same situation as that person. Perhaps you might have behaved just as he or she did. Your mind is filled with anger about whatever incident that happened to you, but you can moderate your anger by putting yourself in the other person's shoes to understand that person's perspective. Now let's practice it. Okay, please begin deep breathing. Put your hands together in prayer. Close your eyes lightly. Imagine anyone whom you don't like, or someone whom you are upset with. If you don't have anyone, please choose someone in the past you got mad at. Then remember the particular feature of that person that you got mad at. Next, try to convince yourself that you have not been merciful enough to understand that this person is also someone who has Buddha nature. And reflect upon your narrow-heartedness.
はい、
Okay,
ください。
please finish your meditation.
How was your meditation? Your life is full of happy moments by finding your true self. Eightfold Path is a method to restore your true self. So please practice every day. Thank you for joining us today. I'll see you next. Bye bye.